everyone. My name is Stephanie Spilka, and I am the host of the Tech Incubator at Queens College interview series. Today, I'm joined by Melinda Reyes, who is the president of Premier Merchant Consulting Services. Welcome, Melinda. It's great to have you today. Some background on yourself before you got into your business.
I'm a graduate of Cornell University, and my major was marketing and communications. And I ventured into advertising as my first initial career. And throughout that, I went into sales for media. And so sales kind of was a bug that hit me. And then, I started to sell advertising. And then the economic downturn, it was just an opportunity for me to interview. And I interviewed with a company which does payment processing. So it was a leader in payment processing worldwide. And I was there for about 6 years. So I call it like my boot camp training on this type of business. I wasn't planning to have my own business at the time, but through the course of the time and so much experience that I've had, even in sales, because if anybody knows sales, they give you quotas and then they increase the quota and then make your life kind of sometimes miserable because a lot of pressure. So I decided I wanted to do this on my own. And being that I had all the experience in the business and really learned it, I learned that I could do it on my own and that I could do it actually servicing businesses better this way, because I can give them more options when I am independent as opposed to being employed by only one company and I had to only be able to sell what they provide. So that's what I do. That's my background and how I kind of got into this. And I guess an entrepreneur at heart, but didn't really know it during the time. And now I'm doing it and I like being an entrepreneur. I like having the flexibility of my time and I like being able to meet business owners. So it's a really good niche for me because I'm meeting a lot of people who are inspiring to me, because everybody who is my client is a business owner. So what I teach them about merchant services and payment processing, I also learn about their industry. And so it's made me, I guess, more versatile, also, knowledgeable about so many different businesses. So a lot of people do turn to me for extra input and information, which thankfully, I'm able to help some, or I direct them to some places where they can get extra assistance. And that's the reason why I decided to call it consulting services, because it's not just, I don't just do one thing, but I can consult on several things to help business owners.
That's awesome. Could you elaborate a little bit on what kind of consulting you do, like some of the topics that you may go into?
Yeah, sure. Because of my background in advertising and marketing, I'm able to kind of talk a little bit about on those things. When a business is starting, how do they market themselves? When I'm doing my services, it's related to credit cards processing. And then there are ways to use gift cards to promote yourself. So I use that as a tool and I consult with them. This is the way, if you want to get a gift card, this is how I recommend you might want to use it to promote your business, give it away, put money on it, give it as a coupon, promote it on your website, promote it on your social media. So I give them an all-encompassing kind of plan, because what I'm able to offer them is a way for them to get paid, which is very important. But there are also ways to do things to bring in extra revenue and promote yourself using these tools that we provide. There's loyalty programs that we can provide, gift card programs that we can provide. Some of the processing offerings that I have also include marketing tools, email marketing, social media marketing, just to give the business owner an easy tool, not something complicated. They don't need a whole department, but maybe they need the extra tools in order to implement these things to help them. And so those are the areas that I consult. And then funding, people always need money. So since my business is all about getting paid, I have all these little extra services that relate to alternative funding. I've helped people with the loans that came out due to COVID, the EIDL and the PPP. I learned about it. I'm always learning from the Small Business Administration. That's part of what I do for myself personally, and also to be able to consult on these things. So a lot of the business owners that may not have the time to learn all these things, they kind of turn to me. And so I can be that kind of person And then if they need other things, I refer them to different people, law, different things. If they need a lawyer, they want to start a business, how do they get started? So a lot of people turn to me for those kind of things because of the experience that I have working with so many business owners.
Do you have any person or experience that you could say served you as an inspiration?
Well, as I said, I started in advertising, and that was sort of like promoting products. So that and the people that were my mentors, one of them was, I worked for an advertising agency, and it was a small boutique shop. So he kind of inspired me about multiple streams of income. And I think that's where the entrepreneurial spirit came in, because he gave me like 4 or 5 different titles, because it was a small agency. So I'm going to say he was like a real inspiration, because I would wear different hats, and it was great because you learn a lot by doing that. You don't just do, I call it like big fish in small pond, right? And I enjoy being big fish in small pond. I don't need to be somebody famous or anything like that, but I like to take on and challenges. So if there are things that I can do extra, I think that's kind of what this gentleman inspired me. He inspired me to think big, think multiple, think that you can do more than just one thing. You're meant for more, and you have multiple talents, so why not use them? So I think that was definitely inspiration, and I try to tell that to people too when I speak to them. Like, don't just think linear, think more global. You can do so many things. You have a brain, things you may not know now, you can actually learn. So expand on that. And then it might open doors and open avenues of where you might see yourself, or different things that you can just express yourself and have some fulfillment, because I think life is for that, to enjoy it while you're living it, even though we do go through struggles, right? But if you think globally and think, creatively, I think there's always a way to overcome the struggles. Sure.
The topic of inspiration and what can bring success, I want to ask, what attributes of yourself do you feel bring success?
Creative thinking, and don't think that there's only one way to do something because people tell you to do it that way. If you open up your mind and you have determination, perseverance, and faith, belief in yourself and your capabilities, it might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a couple of months or even years, right, to come up with the where you really want to go and how you need to get there. But believe in yourself, I think that, and think creatively, and don't let other people shut those doors and deter you. If you think that, there's definitely something that I can do and I can contribute, even though some other people do not believe in me, I think you need to believe in yourself. And I think that's how I try to live my life. Because I've had lots of people, turn me down, shut doors, rejection letters after rejection letters. But those are the things that made me determined to, I don't really want to be employed by anybody anymore. So I thought creatively, how can I do this and make everything work for me to my benefit, and that I still enjoy what I do.
You kind of hinted at my next question here. I like to ask, on the flip side, do you think that you've had something that you've considered a biggest failure? And if you have, do you want to share it and express what you have learned from it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Good question there. I got an internship in the media department. I had my resume sent to all the different advertising agencies, and I got a job really easily. So for me, it was like things were just rolling and going, and my career was great. Then a gentleman met that I had done an internship. He said, well, why don't you come and do sales, right? And I wasn't in sales at the time when I was in the media department. I was the person that the salespeople would come to, wanting to have the client's budget. So if, let's just say, for example, when you're talking about media, back in the day, we didn't have a lot of social media, right? We didn't have a lot of internet marketing. What we did mostly was print, television, and radio, and outdoor, out of home. So, all those buses and all those outdoor signs, those people would come to me and say, let's put some of your clients' ads on these things, and sometimes also even in the front of the beginning of a movie, right? You have the little screen that shows the commercials and things like that. So everybody was coming to me wanting some of the budget. And then somebody told me, why don't you go into sales? I think you would be good for that. And I really didn't think I was an extroverted type of person to do that. I'm kind of shy, but I kind of said, all right, you know what, I'm going to try. So the gentleman hired me and I lasted less than a year and I got fired. So it was very disappointing, right? I took a chance and I failed, and it was my first sales job. So I think that I cried, I was upset, but I think similar to what I just shared before, now that I can look back on that experience, it actually wasn't such a bad thing to happen to me, because I thought life was easy, right? I thought you just go to school, you study hard, you do this, you get your internship, everything was rocking and rolling, doors were opening for me. And then suddenly this one kind of like, and then I had to figure out what I wanted to do and take that experience and learn from it. I learned perseverance. I learned that failure is only a failure if you don't get back up. So, some people will, not believe in you. Things happen for a reason. So I learned all of those things, and I'm in sales now. If people really were to say, what do you do? Yes, I'm an entrepreneur and I have my own business, but my career really has been in sales, because what I need to do to make the revenue happen is to sell myself, sell the products and services that I offer, sell the products and services of the different processing companies and the different technology and the different pieces of equipment. What are the features and the benefits? So it's all the same. And I got fired on my first sales job. So it's just a way to tell people, don't let things that happen like that deter you.
Yeah, absolutely. When one door closes, another door opens, and it worked out. My final question for you today is, what is your relationship with us here at the Tech Incubator?
I met young and she's been a great inspiration to me and a believer in everything that I do, because I think the Tech Incubator works with a lot of businesses. So she saw that I can contribute, and also that I have needs, because I am an entrepreneur myself. So I participated in the Verizon cohort for marketing, and I thought that was great. And I'm ongoing now, trying to do what I can, and any type of online events, because we all went virtual, right? as it happened, it was supposed to happen in person, I believe, at York College when I was first going to meeting in person, and then everything had to go virtual. But again, things happen for a reason. I think having it go virtual is also kind of learning how to do everything digitally. And I wasn't, born in the digital world, to be honest. Maybe some of the younger people are, right? But I am one of the older schools. So I had to learn how to feel comfortable with social media, feel comfortable with being on video and things like that, and doing everything digital to promote myself and my business. I think that's why I wanted to learn more, and how the Queen's Tech Incubator is helpful with that. It's been very helpful to me.
I'm so glad to hear that. We love helping out, especially in our community.
Yeah. And some of us old schoolers, we need the help from the youngers that know how to do the little video and the editing.
Yeah, we're here to help.
Right. The social,
Social media
and the memes. Yeah, I got an intern to help me with Canva to just do all that stuff. Although I come from that background, I wasn't the one who created, right? I wasn't in the creative department, so I get a little bit overwhelmed, sitting with all the details of how to create these things. So I look for help, because I think that if other people have that expertise, and that's one thing I also tell my clients. I'm like, you can't do it all yourself sometimes, but you look at the people who have the expertise that you don't, and connect with them. And in some cases, I do bartering. Me and my clients, they have an expertise in one thing, and I have an expertise in this, and we just barter and we help each other. So I think that's one of the things too that I believe with tech and businesses helping each other will get us far.
Great message. So thank you again, Melinda, for joining me today and for sharing your story. It was really a pleasure hearing all of that, and of course meeting you. So I hope you have an awesome day.
You too. Thank you so much.